Hi, I'm Amanda. I am showing up very authentically today with this. I don't know what's happening up here. I am switching gears, and so if you've been following me for a little bit, then you know that I post like behind the scenes. I post videos of my work, like all mixed to music, all that fun shit. I want to kind of change things up, and I want to just talk to you for a little while. So I'm going to start this series like inside a boudoir photographer's studio, maybe inside a boudoir photographer's mind. Ooh, that could get really scary. So I need ideas for what we can title this series of these videos that I'm going to be posting, where it's just me having a conversation with you. If you've got any names like The Inside Scoop or Behind the Lens, I don't know, drop them in the comments, hit that plus sign, let me know that you're here. If you're new here, welcome. I'm happy to have you. Let me tell you who I am. I am Amanda. I'm a boudoir photographer in Bedford, New Hampshire, which is right outside of Manchester. I service all of New England and actually all over the United States. I have had clients that have flown in to see me, which is super flattering, and I'm extremely grateful. I will do on-site shoots. I do studio shoots. I do beach shoots, you name it. So that's me in a nutshell. But what I want to do is I want to start talking about all things boudoir. Okay. This is just kind of the introduction, and I'm going to tell you how I got started in this type of photography. It was almost 9 years ago that I went full-time as a photographer. I didn't have a client list. I didn't know what I was doing, anything like that. And I didn't jump right into boudoir. Now, there's a little bit of a misconception that it's lingerie and nudity and corn. It's not, but that's another video. We'll talk about different outfits. We'll talk about all that stuff. This is going to be an ongoing series. I'm going to do these a few times a week, hopefully. So stick around. But let me tell you how I got started. I was doing some family shoots. I was doing cake smashes, things like that. And a friend of mine asked me to do one of those sexy photo shoots. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I didn't have a studio space. I didn't have a hair makeup artist. I didn't know anything about studio lighting. If you want to say green, I was emerald. Like emerald. But I was willing to give it a shot. Did her shoot. She came already. I cleaned up my bedroom. We did it in there. I used all natural lighting because, again, I didn't know what I was doing. And I did not know anything about studio lighting. So a month later, she picked up her album and she burst into tears. And I thought, oh, crap. Because this can go really wrong if you don't research and get to know the photographer and know their work. These shoots can go really, really wrong. And I thought, well, I just went really, really wrong. I didn't, because immediately following the tears, she said, I am beautiful, aren't I? And it was like the biggest light bulb just went off in my head. I said, how many women in our community, myself included, are feeling some sort of an insecure way or feeling like we don't measure up to what society says we should? Which, that, again, that's another video, because I'm going to make more middle fingers for what society thinks that we should look like. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, she said, I am beautiful, aren't I? And I just knew then that I am being called to do this type of photography. I immediately niched down. I no longer was going to take on family shoots or the cake smashes, things like that, because I have always been a girl's girl. I want to root for you. I want to see you succeed. I just want to see you soar. I've always been that way, and I never knew how I could be any difference to people. I'm just me. Like, I don't think I'm special. I don't think I'm anything phenomenal or things like that. But I really do support my girls. And that's everybody. That's the ones I know, the ones I don't know. I want to see you win. I want to see you confident. I want to see you happy and loving on yourself. I want to empower you and give you confidence, and I want to show you that those flaws that you perceive that you have, and yes, that's a very intentional way of saying that, because I don't want to say, the flaws you have, because then I'm just reaffirming to you that you think you have flaws, and you don't. You absolutely do not. So the perception when you look in your mirror that you are flawed in some way because you don't fit into this mold, or you're not a size 2, or whatever it might be, it's just all complete and total bullshit. And I'm here to show you that. I don't do any hyper magic or anything like that. I just have really dove into learning the power of boudoir photography 8 years ago, and I taught myself posing and lighting. I'm not going to do anything silly like, put a pillow in front of your belly to hide it. No, I'm going to use the light that I have mastered strobe lighting in the studio. I'm going to use the lighting to hide what we don't love about ourselves. And then the light, I'm going to use the shadows to hide, and I'm going to use the light to really accentuate. And how would I even know those things about you? I'm going to ask you. Duh. I'm going to ask. Because when you first reach out to me, then you're literally signing up to be my new BFF. I'm going to know your story. I'm going to, know your significant other's name. I'm going to know your reason why. I'm going to know who the important people are in your life. And I'm going to ask you, what is your least favorite part, and what is your most favorite part of yourself, so that I can provide you an experience, because this is not just a photo shoot, it's an experience. I'm going to provide you an experience that is literally transformative. So this series is going to be ongoing. I'm going to be doing some frequently asked questions. I'm going to be talking about, all things boudoir, all things my studio, all things empowering women, all things supporting you. I just need a name for this series. So drop something in the comment. Let me know. I don't know if we really want to delve into my mind. Sometimes I'm scared to be in there. But give me ideas on what we can call this series. And I'm going to be back very soon. And I'm going to just dive in with a client story. So what is the word I'm looking for? I tell you what, I'm on a little bit of prednisone right now. The brain fog is so real. Scatter in client stories. Smatter. I'm going to be dropping in some client stories in between all of the other wonderful, informative thoughts that go through this mess. Have a good day.